Hey kids, it's me, Joey Ramone here, and you're watching Fulia Metal.
Fúria Metal está começando agora neste momento. Muito bem, programinha começando agora. Hoje convidado especialíssimo, diria, Mr. Joey Ramone, começando o programa.
It's a very tiny place. Do you prefer like playing this kind of small venues than big venues? Like you are going to play to 6,000 people in Argentina.
I like mixing it up, you know. I mean, small places are nice. It's intimate. It's personable. It's fun, it's real loud, it's real sweaty, you know. But a larger place is fun once in a while too, you know. And a lot of people can see you, and it's kind of cool, you know.
What about talking about record deal? Like the first record deal, I heard that in '75 you did some gigs with Johnny Winter for a Blue King record. You played for 20,000 people. Do you remember that?
Yeah, well, it was we were on trial that night. It was kind of like not an audition, but yes, in a sense, auditioning for this record label, Blue Sky Records. It was David Johansen's label, and
New York Dolls did.
Yeah, I think he went solo after the Dolls, and it was Johnny Winter's label. I think, yeah, it was Johnny Winter's label. I think, maybe not. But anyway, that's, so we were kind of like, we were on, you know, and it was like, and they didn't bill us or anything. Nobody even knew we were playing. So like, when we came out, all Johnny Winter's fans thought it was Johnny Winter coming out. And we came out and we were playing music that no one ever had heard before, totally alien to everyone. And people didn't really know quite what to expect, and they didn't take it so well.
No, they didn't.
No.
Joey Ramone vai contar um pouquinho sobre o antológico cenário nova-iorquino no meio dos anos 70. CBGB, Max, Kansas City, Joey Ramone agora, vai lá.
Pat Smith were supporting you, and I love Pat Smith. How was that? Like, the New York scene by that time was very united
I mean, the thing was in New York City there was nowhere to play. There was only Max's Kansas City, but you had to have a recording deal. So we kind of found CBGB's, which was like a bar on the Bowery, and you know, kind of like and like it was just initially it was supposed to be like a bluegrass bar, but it didn't become one. It didn't happen that way. And Television was the first band to play there, and then we were the second, and it was a good place. I mean, and you know, we would encourage other bands to come and play down there, and after a while there was a whole contingency of artists, you know, like Blondie and Patti Smith and Richard Hell and the Voidoids, and well, first the Heartbreakers, because first he was in the Heartbreakers with
John Thunders and
Johnny Thunders, right. And
is it true that there were some bands that just play in Mexican City, and there was the bands that used to play in CBGB? Or
well, they tried to make it that way. They tried to make it if you played Max's and you couldn't play CBG, and they were trying to make bands sign like contracts. We would never sign any contract because, you know, we play both places. You know, we didn't want to, you know. But the Heartbreakers would play mostly Max's, and there was kind of like that junky decadence kind of scene over at Max's, you know. But the Heartbreakers would play CBGB's too, you know. And I don't know where we preferred, but I think CBGB sounded better, you know. But like Max's was more of like a decadent scene, a decadent hangout. I don't know. They're both fun, you know.
You've been
most part of the reaction of the people who used to see like the Ramones in the beginning? Shock or, oh, that's cool. How was that?
Well, when we started out, you know, it was like kind of like the fans, you know, it wasn't like it is today. You know, it's like kind of making like fans would come out, and a lot of culty type people would, you know, were in those fans, like the Warhol crowd, and just people like Alan Vega from Suicide was one of the original fans, and some of the Coquettes, you know, I don't know, it was pretty wild and decadent, but it was cool, and it was just kind of like word of mouth. You know, it was just like maybe 3, and then 5, then 10, you know.
Yeah, you must check there.
You know, and then some of, I guess, of our earliest fans were like, you know, Andy Warhol and Danny Fields, you know, and you know, some kids in other bands, you know. But mostly it wasn't, I mean, it wasn't like the street kid yet, you know, but then it became that way, you know, word of mouth, you know.
The best way.
That is the best way.
For sure.
Whether it be then or today, you know. I mean, if the people like you, then you're in, you know. Then it's real, you know. Kids, you know, if no one, for the media to make a band or break a band is kind of superficial, you know.
How was the media at that time? Did they help you or?
At the time, we started getting written up in the Village Voice and Rock Scene later, magazine that Lisa Robinson and Richard Robinson, and the Soho Weekly News, and yeah, I mean, people liked us, you know. We were different, you know. We were doing something totally new, you know, and something that no one had really heard before quite like us, you know. Yeah, I mean, I guess like prior to us were, you know, like New York Dolls and the Stooges, and you know, but you know, we were doing something, our own thing. It worked. Well, I mean, and even the first time around, the Sex Pistols were just a creation of Malcolm McLaren's genius to sell his sweaters in his sex shop, basically, you know what I mean?
Fashion thing.
Yeah, it was a fashion thing. It was a kind of a sham, you know, a kind of a fashion ploy, you know what I mean? It wasn't like they were a band that formed, you know, the way the Ramones formed and said, yeah, you know. And I mean, you know, we like the Sex Pistols music and all that, and the whole thing, but it wasn't, you know, it was superficial. And now it's a joke that they're coming back. I mean, now they're bloated, they're balding, you know, old farts. You know, it's like, who wants to see that? I mean, Sid's dead. I mean, he was a major part of the Sex Pistols. You know, and like, you know, in the beginning when Glenn Matlock was in the band, they didn't want him in the band. Now he's back in the band, right? So it's like a bunch of very hypocritical, I'd say. You know, but I think they'll do very well, make a lot of money, and kids will get to see the Sex Pistols, they think.
What do you think that the Ramones did, like, to keep it up all those years, you know, playing and having these fans? What do you think is the most important thing about the Ramones?
Well, the Ramones care. I mean, it was always, we take a lot of pride in what we do, and we enjoy what we do. We love music. We love making the kind of music that we do, and it's all fun, basically. This is like all fun, you know. And people say, do you still enjoy doing it after all these years? And yeah, you know, if we didn't enjoy it, we wouldn't do it, you know. I mean, you gotta enjoy it to do it, and do it as well as we do, you know. Because if you don't enjoy it, it's gonna be something that's fake, or like there's no heart involved at all, you know. A rock and roll fan all my life, you know, since I was a little kid, you know. And I always knew that's what I wanted to do, you know.
Retirement. I know that you care a lot about the fans, real loyal fans you got. Is it a real retirement or kind of?
Well,
what are you thinking?
I don't really feel like I'm not going to be. I don't feel like I'm not retiring, but the Ramones are retiring.
The Ramones, okay.
Yes, I mean there's a lot of things I like to do while I'm in the Ramones. other projects. I like doing, working with artists that are interesting, that are doing cool things, or something that like I got recently. I guess about a year ago, I got involved with Addicted to Noise. It's the first really cool cutting-edge rock and roll magazine on the internet, and I met a lot of great people, and they told me what they really want to do with me is that they want to start a radio station on the internet.
And you like a lot radio station.
Yeah, I always dug radio, like I grew up on AM radio and then freeform FM radio. So I always had a special kind of thing for radio, So I mean, what I was doing with Addicted to Noise initially was I'd do these road reports. I write about life on the road with the Ramones all over different, different countries, different, it was cool. It was good. And it was fun. It was a new experience for me. And my editor is Jan Uhelski. She used to work with Lester Bangs at Cream magazine. And the magazine is really cool. It's like people that are a lot of radio stations in America have Addicted to Noise on their that website on their computers. That's where they get all their music news, and even MTV in America gets it from Addicted to Noise. And so this radio thing started up. I did my first show. It's up March 1st. It's up right now. It's called Joey Ramone's Radio Coup.